look, next year, I'll make him wear the hat and you can wear the scarf, all right? So just sit there and let me do my lesson, all right? And next year, we'll get him a bigger hat, okay? So that you can, greetings, Pepin Falcons, and welcome to another edition of Math is More Than Fun at Pepin. I am your host, Mr. Newber. We are going to move on to our fifth block of instructions on how to solve algebraic equations. And this one is an exciting one. It's very paramount to making it down to this point. Let's review real quick. The first one, isolate the unknown, identify the goal. There it is. When I look at this, I know what that is, I know what that is, I know what that is, I know the equal sign, I know the 4, I know plus, I know 5. I don't know what that is. I do not know what that is. That's my goal. I'm going to solve that. So down here, I end up with A equals, and it's going to be telling me what it is. That's the first thing I'm going to do. The next thing is I'm going to realize this is different from this. That's why I called apples and oranges, all right? You see I have them on both sides. The next one is we are combining terms on both sides. Before you tuned in, before I started this, I might have had 5 of these over here and maybe 7 of these, and it went all the way to the wall. But I combined them. I can add and subtract apples and oranges until I come up with a total of apples, a total of oranges on this side, and the same thing on this side. This could have gone all the way to here with apples and oranges, but I combined them. That's this one. So I end up with no more than 2 items on each side of the equation. I cannot combine apples and oranges. So I end up with a pile of apples, a pile of oranges, a pile of apples, and a pile of oranges. Now keep in mind our balance scale. And I started out with this equal sign with all these terms over here, all these terms over here. I was perfectly balanced. It's exactly the same quantity. When I combine them, I still end up with the equal sign. They are still perfectly equal. So where do we go from here? How are we going to turn this into this? That is the challenge. Well, we are going to combine apples and oranges again, but this time it's from side to side. I need to do something with this. Let's start with the apples. I need to do something with this. I need to combine this and this. You notice I just have 1 apple down here. I need to know what to do with this. I can make this disappear. I can make it disappear, even though 3A is in this dish of my balance scale. 3A I can make disappear. Watch this. Watch how easy this is. 3A minus 3A is 0. I don't know what A is, but I know I have 3 of them. And I know they're in this dish. I'm going to take 3 of them out of that dish. And guess what happened? It went like that. I just took 3 things out of this dish. This dish now is heavier. And my scale just went like this. Well, that's okay. You know why? Because I haven't gotten to this side yet. All right? Now, I got rid of that successfully. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do the same thing. Minus 3A over here. Now, I'm not going to get 0 because I've got 5 of them over here. I took 3 of them away. That leaves me with 2. 2A. All right? Now I come back over to this side. Well, let's not. Now, I did this with the apples. I didn't do anything with the oranges. I can't do anything with the oranges because I'm working on apples. I'm doing the apples now. I'm not doing the oranges. Now I'm going to look at the oranges. What did I do to that orange? Nothing. That's exactly right. Yvonne, that was you, right? That's nothing. I did nothing with the oranges. So I'm going to construct this, try to keep my equal signs up and down, and now I have the 4 oranges here. My apples are gone on this side. That's what I wanted to do. And that's very important for you to remember. Everything that I do when I add and subtract items from both sides of the equation, and I alter this and then make it right. You notice I just made this right. I took 3 apples out of this one and it went whoop because it's lighter. Then I took 3 apples out of this side and it went whoop and it went right back. This is a balance scale, all right? When I do that, I'm only going to do things that are going to help me get from here to here. I can subtract 12 apples, I can subtract 30 apples if I want to, but I don't want to. I want to subtract just enough to get rid of this and make it disappear algebraically, perfectly in line with algebra principles. Now that's gone. I never have to look at that 3a again. You notice how much simpler this is than this line right here? I'm trying to make it simple. I'm trying to reduce it down. So I did the same thing on both sides. Now, look what I can do with the oranges. What do you think? That's exactly right. Who said it? Somebody said it. I'm going to subtract 4 oranges from here. That is 0. All right? What happened to my scale? It just went up. My scale just went up. I'm going to do it on this side now. Minus 4 over here. And what do I get? I get 8 right here. Now, if you notice right here, before I did this, I don't have any apples over here. So this should look logical to you that all I did was adjust my number of oranges, and now I have 8. Okay, good. Let's put in our equal sign here. Let me get this 0 out of the way. We all know that's 0. We know 4 minus 4 is 0, all right? What happened to my apples on this side? And the correct answer to my question is nothing. Nothing happened to my apples because I was working on oranges. Does that make sense? This is still on this side in the dish, all right? So I'm going to bring this down here where it belongs, to A. Now look, obviously I'm one step away from getting A equals. I know 2 of these A's is equal to 8, okay? So that's another step for another topic and another entire lesson, all right? This is simply getting to this point right here so that I can get down to just one set of apples, 1 set of oranges on the 2 sides of the equation. My equation right now is perfectly in balance. And I want you to notice something. I'm hoping I have a different color here. Okay. When you solve these algebraic equations, you should be able to spot a line. And in this case, it's this one and this one. You should be able to spot items in your course of solving it in which you're doing the exact same thing to both sides. See this line right here? Okay, here's the first line. This is the problem we started with. Let's look at this line. See this? I did something to both sides of the equation. It doesn't even matter what it is. I'm just pointing out the same thing at the same time as we're working down. We ended up with this. Again, I'm doing the same thing to both sides of the equation. Again, it doesn't matter what. I'm doing it to both sides. That's the significance of this line. We did this correctly because we have this moving this way now. That means our work is getting simpler as we move down towards the solution. Okay? Does that make sense? Want to do another one? Let's do another one. Real quick. I have one written down over here that'll work out really well, and we'll do all of the principles that we've learned so far on how to solve these. Here it is. It is 4b plus 2. So I have 4b plus 2 is equal to 11 plus b. All right. Here, once again, we have start. Oh, thank you. Who said that? Somebody's really on the ball. Hey, Mr. Newber, where's your goal? Thank you very much. All right. So down here we have B equals. There's my goal. I'm happy to put that down there because that's going to direct me on how to work through this problem to get to this. This is where I'm going. That's the answer to the problem, and we're all going to be happy when we get there. All right? If you notice, I have 2 items on each side. Also notice that we have apples and oranges on this side, oranges and apples on this side. All right? So we're good. We satisfy this one and this one. We have no more than 2 items, and we have 1 of each. All right? So now, what can we do with this one? We can do it exactly the way we did the other one. I like to work on the apples first. You don't have to. If it's easier for you to work with the integers or the oranges, go ahead and do that one. In fact, I'll do the oranges this time. I did the apples last time. It's the same thing. Here we go. All right? I have a large number of apples on this side. Remember now, we're talking our scale. It's perfectly equal. There it is, right there. There's the equal sign. It's perfectly equal. I have 11 of them over here, and I have 2 of them over here. I want to combine them. Why don't I do this? Why don't I subtract 2 from here, and now I don't have oranges on this side anymore. Uh-oh. Oh, I got to put it over here too. I got to put the 2. All right. What is 11 minus 2? 9. Thank you. All right. Now let's do the next line. What do I have here? I have an apple. What did I work on? The oranges had nothing to do with the apple. Nothing at all. I'm going to bring the apple down because it's still in this dish over here of the balance scale. Remember, right now, this went like this to here. It's now perfectly in balance and equal. What's over here? 4b. Here's 4b. And what does that equal? Well, I have a 9 here, so I'm going to keep that. There's the 9. And here's a b way up here. I started out with a b. I started out with an apple on that side. I worked on the oranges. Now, that apple, I didn't do anything with that. That's still there. So now, what do I have? Perfectly in line. I have 4 b's over here. I have 1 b over here with 9 of something else, and it's perfectly balanced. Okay? So now, what's next? Well, what I have to do next is combine the apples. So here we go. I know what to do with that. That's 1b. I know what to do with that. How about minus b? What do you think b minus b is? That's right, it's equal. I'm sorry, it's 0. So, once again, it just went, whoop, and now I'm going to do it over here also. And now everyone watching knows that 4b minus 1b is 3b. And I just got rid of that b over there. All that's left is the 9. If we go back through this, and do every one of these steps again, every one of them, I think you would be able to see that every time our scale went like this or like this, we corrected it. And once again, what I just showed you with the last one is we have 2 lines in our solution where we are doing the same thing to both sides. That line and this line. And I want you to keep in mind, algebra is such a beautiful part of math. You can subtract the wrong thing from both sides and it's still equal. You can actually subtract, but I don't think you'd subtract the wrong thing because you have it right here. That's the one that you want to get rid of and take out of your dishes on both sides because it simplifies this side. See what you had here? 4b plus 2? Now it's just 4b. Much simpler. And it also gives you your apple on one side. There's one more step here, and we're going to have the answer, and we'll have it solved. Okay? So I'm going to do another one of these in the next video and show you different approaches to the same exact and precise procedures for getting from an apple and an orange in an equation to an apple and one apple and the answer down here in the equation. All right, I'll see you in the next video.